So this is on YouTube. So off chance that anyone's actually tuned in at this point. Um, Still waiting for people. So there's plenty of slots open if you want to come in and talk about making it to Balticon 50 or not, or whatever. I'm gonna give people like 20 minutes, and if no one makes it, no one makes it, and then this will probably disappear from the internet forever. Hooray! Not really gonna be interested unless someone shows up. Hmm.
Can you hear me, Hugh?
Hello?
I hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello? I see you there, but I can't hear you. Check, 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 check. I hear background noise.
How about now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Woo!
You're a little low, but how's it going?
Who knew that the little picture of a gear was settings?
Indeed.
Anybody else gonna hop into this shindig?
Um, I hope so. People said they were going to.
Because this would be the worst Balticon recap if the only person that was there was you.
Yeah, if that's how this plays out. Spoiler alert! I'm just gonna like delete this thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I turned up my settings so I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to be louder than the background noise.
No problem. So how was your Memorial Day weekend?
I'm trying to think of what happened Memorial Day. I think
Oh yeah, that sounds much better.
Yeah, I think we got the house inspected that weekend.
Nice.
And then I
Like
went
the new
to
house or the old house?
the new house. And they found lots of problems with it, and the current homeowners are fixing it so we can move in.
Whee! That's exciting.
And then we went to Pat's house on Memorial Day for a cookout and swimming.
But you're Pat.
Dum bum bum.
So confused.
Other people might be running into the issue that I had, where the hangout that you sent was just the like a link to the hangout, but not a link to join the hangout.
Yeah, I fixed that. I should probably fix it in the group too. Bup, 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 bup.
Just so you know, we're missing bare naked ladies up at Art Park right now.
I wouldn't say I'm missing them.
Ooh, shots fired. Shots fired.
No, it's fine. They are certainly a band that is still together.
Barely. They got rid of one of the guys.
Like a lot of the guys have like spun off, so I'm not sure who the lineup is now.
Do you remember they used to have a singer and a rapper?
I remember the rapper.
He's still with the band and he does a lot of the singing now. The singer left.
Okay. Like Steve, what's his face?
Steve Page, yeah, the kind of heavier set guy. Glasses.
Yep. He like put out a bunch of bizarre solo albums, I think.
He did. Lots of weird covers was one of them and other stuff.
I don't know. I still like Bank Job.
I like the NES, the chip tune intro to it. It's
Indeed.
a good track.
So I went to Balticon.
So I heard.
And it was fun, but the thing with Balticon 50 is that it like I don't have the exact numbers, but I think they had like 3 times people as they did last year, like as would be normal. Because George was there and George doubles attendance.
Yeah, I heard a lot of the past guests were also in attendance.
Yeah, they had like 15 past guest of honors, including Kaya and Phil Foglio and Larry Niven. So there were people there for people to see, and there were lots of older science fiction fans who came out to support the greats. So that made things extra interesting. In addition to them being in a new hotel, which wasn't quite ready for us, and I think that largely got sorted out, but no one knew where anything was. Con staff was sort of like trying to enforce quiet like floor rules within panels. It was odd. But for the most part, it was fun. I don't know how any of the guest of honor stuff ran because I sort of avoided the crowds and just showed up there to do my thing and hang out with my tribe.
The new media crew.
Yep.
From what I've been seeing on Facebook from everybody posting, it looked like a good time was had by that crew, but I didn't see a lot of overlap with like the big names and other things that was going on. But I mean, as to be expected, it sounded like there was a lot of just growing pains from fitting into a new area and trying to deal with a larger crowd.
Yeah. And I think one of the big problems they had this year is that they did not have enough staff because a lot of the like a couple of like the con heads, like the new media track, Pat did not come back this year, and I think the person who replaced him had a health issue or an accident or something. So she was just like not involved, and it came down to like them not having a new media coordinator, and the con director was trying to wear all the hats at once. um, which I feel for her. And obviously, you're like George and your other big fabulous guests that you are paying to fly in, maybe have to take priority. But I feel like they tried to do everything and they couldn't quite do everything well. So there were some logistic and organizational problems, like with panels and stuff.
But that sounds like it's the kind of thing that would have been helped with just better coordination or more people participating. I
Yes.
feel like that would be less of an issue next year now that they know what kind of challenges they're going to be facing.
Yeah, and especially because next year George R. R. Martin's not going to be there.
True that.
So
True
so
that.
the crowds will also be a bit more manageable, I feel. So they don't have to like have everybody making sure the crowd is okay, and they can maybe focus a little more on having scheduling working properly and all of that. So yeah, next year I feel will be better. But this year was a lot of fun. I got to go to a series of amazing panels. I
So,
got
real quick, what would stand out as one of the panels that you didn't expect a lot from, but then gave you more than it promised?
oh uh, Jared Axelrod sat in on a panel for another group of Philly podcasters who I hadn't heard of before called the Black Tribbles. And they interviewed a couple of the other guests, and that was like a fantastic panel. That was so much fun. They're a like a Nerd of Color podcast,
All right.
and it was a whole bunch of people, and they do this thing where it is like they have the Tribble Army, and so at the end they like inducted like their guests as Tribbles, and one was Moon Ranger Laura, who does the parsec stuff, and she's an astronomer, and or maybe she's an astrophysicist. She's a science
Astrologist, I get
person.
it.
No, she is a scientist. Stand back, she'll do science.
Astrologist,
And
yeah.
they had a comic creator, Steve Edelman, who's sort of like an um, Bronze Age Marvel guy.
When was Bronze Age Marvel?
Like 70s and 80s.
Okay.
Like like X-Men rebooting up to like the 90s, I think.
All right. What would you say was your favorite panel that included a rap battle?
Oh, that would definitely be also speaking of yeah, I did a lot of cool panels with Jared Axelrod. He was kind of everywhere this year. And that's cool because he is a dude who is nonstop. But he did a like in fiction live rap battle for the voice of Free Planet X, and that episode's up now. And that had it had Big Bear, it had Christiana Ellis, that is Jason Banks, Christiana Ellis,
Emceed
himself.
by Dave Robinson, I believe.
Dave Robinson was there, and the lovely and talented Veronica Giguere was also. Veronica Giguere was like the judge, and Dave was like the MC, and August Grappin was the sign holder. So he doesn't come up much in the audio, but he was in the audio at the live event, like holding up all the big cue cards for the audience.
Yeah, I saw
And
some of the pictures from that. That looked like a
yeah, that
crazy
that was
event.
amazing fun. The thing you can't hear over the audio is that they are all wearing luchador masks that are amazing. That
Oh, I bet
Jared
that would
made.
come through in the audio.
Yeah. And it is a heroic thing. They recorded like a promo in the courtyard that was super awesome. Like they cut a promo. Um, and Christiana has skills, I gotta say. So that was super cool. And Yeah,
Uh,
we might not get anybody tonight because I know a lot of people were busy, and
that's fine. I'm
yeah,
still gonna
Nutty
grill
couldn't
you.
make it. Laura Nicole couldn't make it. A bunch of other people couldn't make it who wanted to be here, but yeah, it was sort of weird for me being in a new place because I sort of got I don't know I'm sort of a shy retiring person, so I sort of had that feeling of being in a weird new place and not knowing where everything is and wanting to turtle a little bit more than I have at past Balticon since the first one. But I still managed to do a lot of fun stuff, see a lot of people who were there. Um,
So, what was your favorite panel that you were on?
oh, the first night it was me, Jared, his wife JR, August, and another writer whose name is Ruth Lampy. We were on the Queering the Feed panel, where we just talked about LGBTQ representation in podcasting and basically talked about podcasts we liked. And that was a ton of fun. It wasn't a huge audience, but it was a lot of fun. Got to recommend some cool stuff. Like I got to recommend. Obviously, I pimped the Dark Wife, um, but I got to recommend Minus World, which is the Mid Boss Games podcast, and talked about like Night Vale and the Bycast and a whole bunch of them. Like Jared made a whole list when he posted the episode with links, so people should check that out.
I know back in October, one of the podcast groups that I listened to did Queers Destroy. They did Queers Destroy horror and science fiction and fantasy.
Yeah, that was the second of the three projects that Lightspeed did.
Yeah.
And that was super cool. Like I know a bunch of people were in that. My story was rejected that I submitted, but it's fine. Not mad. Yeah, but they also did like the year before they did Women Destroy, and then the past year I think it just came out to backers and is still maybe working its way through publication. Is People of Color Destroy. So these are really cool projects. I'm not sure how successful they were for visibility, but it was a lot of cool stories from authors I liked. And I think the essays in those that go along with those Kickstarters are always fascinating. So that was fun.
Well, as far as visibility, if it managed to cross my radar, it must have been pretty
Yeah.
darn visible.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, those were edited by Shannon McGuire and Chuck Palahniuk, both of who are probably doing okay. But I mean, a lot of authors are in there, so it helps people find stuff. I did find some other authors that I like through that project, so I don't know. I'm on a lot of Kickstarters, and I get a lot of ebooks, and they sort of sit on my phone, so I'm not sure that I've looked at that one in a while to see who's in it.
Hey, sort of like I do with your stuff that you send me.
Hey, but people are busy. It's fine.
And to be fair, I do think I did read the stuff that you sent me.
Cool. Also, I need to make more stuff, which would help.
Yeah, that would definitely help.
Always making more stuff.
So what would you say was one of the coolest things that you found out about one of the projects, books, movies, video games, TV series, something that you learned about new while you were at Balticon?
Well, like I said, I found out about the Black Tribbles podcast, so I'm listening to that, and that's super cool. And also, like, I hung out a lot with the folks from the Geek Radio Daily podcast, like the Flynns and Shay and all those folks. who I sort of knew, but I didn't really, know well. Like I knew them by sight. And so I've started listening to their stuff, and that's very cool. And it's sort of like a cool, quick little thing. I'm getting into more like shorter, like faster podcasts that come out sooner, even though I don't necessarily get to listen to something that posts daily every day because Blockbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I'm almost looking forward to moving further away because it'll give me like an extra 10, 20 minutes each day to listen to podcasts.
oh yeah, because you're going to be in A Town, right?
Yeah.
Not to talk about that. Okay, so we have a viewer.
It might be me. I have it
Okay.
open just to see how many
Well, it
viewers.
might be Kim because she posted. But no, the corrected link is up for the actual thing if people want to join. Because we're probably just gonna ramble for a couple more minutes, and I'm gonna go till 9, and then probably call it.
Fair enough.
I would say one thing that kind of disappointed me about the new bar or the new thing is that BarCon's not as good. Here we need to find a cool bar in the Harborfront, because the hotel has 2 bars, and they all sort of look cool, but they're kind of like expensive, crappy bars. Like I spent $10 to get a rum and coke from someone who didn't know what a Cuba Libre is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that went about how that went. So I either want to find like a cool bar in the area that we can decide is the new BarCon bar, or next year I'll just like bring tons of soda that I like to drink and mixers. I brought a lot of beer and stuff this year, and that went over well. Like I introduced like my roommates and like Tech and Mark and some other folks to Resurgence.
Oh yeah, I just went there for the first time relatively recently.
Yeah, they have their IPA and like a couple of their other signature ones
The
in
blood
cans now.
orange
Yeah, they
saison.
have the saison. But I brought some Resurgence IPA and some Flying Bison beer.
All right, I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate IPA.
Okay.
Coming out, just saying it. Hate it. Don't see what the fuss is about.
It's hoppy.
Oh my, is it hoppy? It tastes
People
like
like,
drinking potpourri.
yeah. Some people like that. Some people like I don't know, crisper beer. I'm not sure how you would describe stuff that's not hoppy. That's good. I mean,
Yeah, I'm more of a wheat beer drinker. Or if available, whatever beer you would feel comfortable sticking a slice of citrus fruit into.
fair.
But also to each their own, except for IPAs, which are disgusting and you're wrong.
Like in 3 years, I'm gonna get like incensed comments on this video. It's like, how could you hate IPAs? F you.
Please direct all your hate mail to.
Um, if you have long river commutes, I gotta get you listening to the Adventure Zone.
The Adventures of.
The Adventure Zone.
Oh, Zone. I thought you said The Adventures of, and I was waiting for what they were the adventures of.
Well, have you heard of My Brother and Me?
Yes.
Okay, it's those guys teaching their dad, who is like a retired, like fairly famous regional radio DJ, how to play D&D.
Interesting.
And like they're very loose with the rules, and they're very funny. It's really interesting because most like D&D like game casts are people who really know how to play, but they don't necessarily have the best audio. And like Adventure Zone's the other direction. It's people who don't quite know how to play D&D, but they know how to do a good how to do good audio, and they like deliver, and they do a lot of um like improv with it.
Nice.
Um, and it's fun because the dad is learning. The one guy gets like super into role playing his character, and the other guy is like clearly cheating. Like,
Nice.
oh, that's totally an 18. It,
Well, as long as
that's
his
whatever.
charisma's high enough, I'm sure he could bluff his way through any role.
It doesn't help. It doesn't hurt that he's also editing the footage, so
That too.
Um, but yeah, it's done by the Malcour brothers, and that's a lot of fun. And it's about an hour, so it's a little longer than you're used to.
Ugh.
But it's structured in such a way that you could easily sort of like do it like half and half.
I mean, a lot of the shows I
Like,
listen to are fairly lengthy. I end up listening to them in the span of a half hour because
yeah,
double speed podcasts.
like it's like a half hour break, half hour.
I mean, I'll even sit and listen through a whole episode of Pistol Shrimps Radio where it's an entire women's rec league basketball game. So that goes on for at least an hour.
I have not heard that one.
It's Matt Gorley and Mark McConville from Super Ego.
Okay.
And neither of them, one of them knows a little bit about basketball. The other one does not. And they do color commentary on women's rec league basketball.
Are they doing it in voices?
No, they're doing it just they are at a basketball game where
Because if you asked me to listen to like Mark McConville do his Ian Fleming voice for an hour, I'd be down for that.
They do like throw in voices from time to time, and it devolves into something really weird. And then there's this other bit that's going on. They have a guy come in and do the sock report, and he comments on the socks that people are wearing. And it started off hilarious. Like there was, oh, these socks are funny, and oh, those socks have pictures of little pot plants on them or whatever. And then at one point he was on meds and then off them, and he was really depressed when he gave the report. And now he's into Scientology. Like there's a plot going on.
Okay. The one thing I do want to mention before I forget is that we did have the new media party this year. And we were sort of on our own, so we were just sort of did it. I don't know how much, like the staff like got stuff, but we sort of had a room for an hour or a couple hours, and we ran with it, and that was a ton of fun. Billy Flynn stepped up for like nerd radio DJing, but it wasn't really dancey. And we had the vendor table, and that was cool. And we had like a photo booth that like Chooch set up a green screen for it.
Ooh,
And that was
fancy.
and it was all through his iPod or iPad. So it was like a iPad app, and it worked really well. And we had a bunch of like pirate ships and like pulp like comic covers
Oh, nice.
that like had the characters like photoshopped out.
Oh, that does sound
And
fantastic.
I don't think those photos have gone up yet, but I got to be the photographer for that, and that was a ton of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was the costume contest and all that. And I was like working, so I didn't get to like get into the costume contest in time. But it was a lot of fun, and that was one of my highlights of the con.
Speaking of costumes, just be prepared for when we do move into this new house. We will throw a kick-ass Halloween party, and
Yes.
we've decided on the theme. It is the future.
The future.
Exactly.
So you're out near that exit.
48A, Pembroke, Medina.
Yep. Do you guys go to the Darien ever?
There was a time when we did. It's been quite a few years.
Because we got our passes for this year, and they come with like a bunch of free tickets that go through November or September.
Oh, nice. I don't know when. Right now, it's looking like we're going to move in August, and it might be late August. So I don't know. I'll
Okay.
keep you updated. Nice mug, by the way.
Thank you. My godfather got me for these when I graduated college.
See, I wish I had a webcam. Maybe I'll set one up in the next house.
Yeah, I like this one. Like I had to find one because I am off of a Mac Mini, which is like the only Mac that doesn't have a webcam in it. So I had to find something that was good and also Mac compatible. But this is a Logitech, and it's about mid-range. It doesn't say what brand it is; just says Logitech on it. And I'm really happy with it. I think it was like $50.
I mean, I'm seeing them as low as like 20. Could
Well,
probably get on
it
one of
might be
those.
20 now. It's a couple years old. Unfortunately, I can't give you a picture of the webcam because the webcam is inside it.
What if you turn it around really, really fast?
You would see how messy my office is.
It wouldn't catch a picture of itself.
Uh, no, curvature of space time and all that.
Darn. Ooh, I might need one of those too. Nice desk mounted shock mount arm for microphone.
Oh, yeah, this is just a. It's not a shock mount. It's just a pop filter.
No, I'm seeing. I'm on Amazon right now,
Okay.
looking up webcams, and it's like if you want webcams, you probably want boom stands.
Well, this is actually a nice webcam that has like a solid, like room mic in it. That I'm using right now. But yeah, the con was fun. There were some issues. I think there will be less issues next year. Let's see what's going on the Balticon.org site. Yep. So this doesn't really have staff, but I know the organizer. She worked really hard and she's had a lot of problems, but she was at the table for the entire convention, and she was always had her nose in her laptop trying to fix all the problems and the scheduling conflicts and all that arose. So I want to give a big thank you to her. I know she's not going to be there next year because this was a burnouty experience, I'm sure. And I don't know if I can get involved so much in Balticon as a volunteer because I'm coming from so far.
Right.
But I'm definitely trying to be more involved in the Buffalo Fantasy League and ErieCon and all that. I can't get out to their events so much or meetings so much because they're the day I do Chrononaut stuff. But they have an event next month that I'm going to go to, and I'm going to be like, "Give me work to do. Give me names. I can recruit people." Because I think they're trying to start up their new media track. I think they have this guy Bill from Rochester who usually does it, and I'd like to help him out.
Oh, that sounds cool. Bro.
Hmm?
That sounds cool.
Cool.
Bro.
Yeah, I was hoping to get more people, but yeah, a bunch of the new media authors had a big, like Scott Pond got a big table, and they had like a big cooperative with like Val Ford and August and John and Val and a bunch of other people. So that was cool. And hopefully I'll have stuff to sell next year so I can be a part of that because I would like to help out.
Hopefully, I'll be able to go next year.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd
Uh,
be fun.
the Inner Harbor, you have to pay for parking, but it's a cool location. And I sort of lucked out because I got to use all of Steve and Grenade's unused parking vouchers because they couldn't make it this year. And honestly, I'd rather have paid to park and gotten to hang out with Steven. But, I got free parking.
Silver lining.
Yeah. I got him a little thing. I still have to send it to him.
That looks like one of Gus's.
Yeah, it's one of Gus's like emergency D20 keychains. Because I didn't want to go overboard, but I wanted to send him a thank you thing for helping me out. I just say I was bummed that I couldn't hang out with him. But the Inner Harbor is still beautiful, and while parking is not free, there's a lot of amenities and stuff nearby. Like there's a big shopping center and food court and all that right next door.
Like you do.
And like the mall food court was closed because there's this like big 5-story mall that shares a building with the Harbor Renaissance. But maybe next year that will be open, and then that'll be much nicer because you can just go there from the hotel, and they're a good food court. It's very convenient. So it's like 9:15. I don't think anyone else is going to show up at this point. Thank you for viewing, people who viewed. Sorry for the technical problems of people who could not access if you tried.
It also looks like it's going to be archived on the YouTube, so
yeah, I may or may not delete this. I might just leave it up, and people will get to sit through like 5 minutes of me waiting for people to show up, looking at my phone. Right.
Well, maybe in the future I can get a webcam too, and then we can both be looking at our phones together.
See, what I'm wondering is on the YouTube part of it, is it like half me and half your blank screen?
What's weird, I've been looking at it, it's mostly my face from my profile picture.
Oh, with the little sound popping out of it?
No, it's just my face. It looks like I joined in whenever I joined in and I took over the whole video.
Nice. Oh, I might be highlighting you. It might be.
Let me see if I can go live again. Oh, now I see your face on the feed. Oh, now it's my face again. There's a bit of a delay, so you're poking at it.
May have been poking at it. All right, well, thank you for watching this, whoever is watching this for whatever reason still. I'll probably talk more about Balticon, or a little bit more when we next record Way of the Buffalo. So look forward to that. And otherwise, I will see you later.
Bye.
So check out wavethebuffalopodcast.blogspot.com or patreon.com/UJ O'Donnell for stuff like audio podcasts and sometimes fiction.
So we should totally try recording like this next time too. I like being able to watch you.
I'm a little freaked out by that, but if you want to get webcams and we can do like a webcam thing, I know that's how. Hold on, let me stop the podcast.